This used to be Medellin's main market. The roof used to span from over there in that building all the way to the street here. So massive building, but it burned down and subsequently was occupied by criminals and just kind of unsavory characters. But the city kind of transformed the area, made it open and visible, as well as these pillars light up in the evening, which is kind of a well, light is typically a symbol of hope, so just kind of show people that you know, things can change and there is hope. Also, the building at the large glass windows is a public library. And this building, which, like the square in general, was the site of prostitution and crime, is now the Secretary of Education, or the Ministry of Education. So, quite a transformation. It's a pretty important square in Medellin. This, I believe, the Governor's Hall. This, I believe, is the... can't remember, maybe the Supreme Court, Servicio Tributarios. This is the City Hall, and that is the Palace of Justice, the tall building here. And here they have an amazing monument which they tribute to the Paisa people, so the people living in Medellin and the surrounding area. So there's a man with a pickaxe there because of the gold in the area. We have horses pulling kind of a carriage. Represents the coffee being grown. Religion, Catholicism. It said that the size of the monument represents Paisa's people's ego. They're very proud people, proud to be Paisa, and it sure is a beautiful monument, unlike anything I've ever seen. Here we have a pretty cool shopping mall. Let's take a look at the inside. So the reason why this mall is especially aesthetically pleasing is because it was previously the National Palace, which had a multitude of administrative functions, but it was eventually sold to some Arabs with the condition that the aesthetic qualities of the place remained intact. And it seems like they've kept that promise for the most part. Pretty neat. Apparently a lot of the clothing here that has name brands is actually imitations, but they look really good. So each one of these statues has an approximate value of $1.2 million if the artist Botero were to sell them. But being a Medellin native, a Paisa, decided to donate them to the square. About a dozen statues. And he also donated some more work inside this museum here, Museo d'Antioquia, which is not free, but there is a Botero museum that's free in Bogota. So you may notice that this side of the palace is considerably less intricate than the other side. And that's because the palace was contracted to a Belgian architect, but the people were complaining that it was taking too long, so he decided to quit. And then the people that took over the project from Medellin didn't really have the capabilities to finish it like it was being built. So instead we have this wall here, which is kind of called the Colombian side of the palace. And then on this side, as you can see, the original European side. Quite a 9-day difference. This is Berrio Park, a special park because it's right next to Iglesia de la Candelaria, which is the oldest church in Medellin. Also makes this park special is that it is a frequent place for musicians to gather, play some tunes, and party. During the city's violent era, a bomb was left next to the bird, a very large bomb that unfortunately killed 23 people. They were going to get rid of it, but the artist, Botero, once again, said that they should keep it, and he agreed to build a new one, kind of as a symbol of a new city. And there, despite the past of the violence, etc. Another symbol of the transformation of Medellin. Although it's going through a little bit of renovations right now, Medellin's metro system is typically spotless. That's because it's much more than a means of transportation for the Paisa. It's a symbol of pride, of something that was built during a very dark time in the early 90s when Medellin was one of the, if not the most violent city in the world. And amongst the darkness and violence, they were able to build something pretty amazing. Transformation of Medellin. Hope you enjoyed this video. It's definitely kind of a good story of Medellin. You know, it starts off really dark, but then it gets brighter and brighter, and I think the future is only going to be even brighter for Medellin. While I was in Medellin, I made some other videos.
Gracias.
So those videos are coming up next on the channel. If you're not familiar with Hum of the Earth, I'm currently on my first bicycle tour from Canada to Argentina. If you'd like to see an interactive map of everywhere that I've been and everything that I did, that's available over on my website, followthehumoftheearth.com. And if you'd like to follow my continuing adventures, you can do so by subscribing to the YouTube channel. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good one.